Hello guys and welcome to my new video. The new legendary Merida card is absolutely broken, and with her bodyguards around she draws you endless cards. This yellow purple list will take your opponent by surprise. Before we dive into the deck list, don't forget to subscribe for more Lorcana videos, and now have fun, let's go! Here we are again, another deck profile video, and today I have Yellow Purple Merida's Bodyguards for you. Let's have a look at the complete list. At the first glimpse it looks like a normal standard Yellow Purple list with all the strengths. You know from mid-range lists, from Madrigal's list, we have Luisa Madrigal, we have the turn to ramp, we have removal, we have evasive, we have Gaston for example. But this deck is solely built around the new legendary Merida card from set 13, Attack of the Vines. If you want to copy the list, you will find a link in the video description below. And now we have a look at all my card choices I made for this list and why. So starting off with the one-drop characters, we have Aurora for our princess ramp, so we can get out an Merida card early on in turn 3. So if you're on the draw, you preferably want Aurora in your turn 1. We also have Eilonwy with her support ability to support Gaston later in the game, or boost up your own characters so they can challenge higher willpower characters on the opposing side, and to not only threaten the shift and to make it look like a normal yellow purple list. We have 3 copies of Luisa Madrigal in the build. She has 3 willpower, and I tested quite a few 1-drops instead of her. I had Rafiki, I had Olaf in there. But the 3 willpower is very good because she can challenge into most of the highly played 1-drop characters easily and survive. And you always threaten the shift, because your opponent thinks, okay, there is probably the big Luisa Madrigal coming in turn 3 maybe. And I don't exert, so she kind of stalls enemy questing and always threatens to shift until your opponent figures out you don't have the big Luisa Madrigal. But that's it for the wonders. We have 10 in total, and 10 is enough. Aurora is the most precious one. You want to see her in almost every game on the play. And yeah, then we are in our 2-drop slot. We have Ham and Grandmother Willow as our essential turn to ramp. I actually prefer Grandmother Willow on the play because you can then go Aurora into Grandmother Willow into another 1-drop maybe. I like to really go wide early on, and then you can go use Grandmother Willow Aurora in turn 3 and bring out a 4-cost Merida for example early on, and in turn 3 it's very good. So I prefer Grandmother Willow, but Ham has also its place in the deck. So we want to mulligan for this turn to ramp, and we want to mulligan for Aurora and Merida preferably. And like I said, this deck is built around Merida and her bodyguards. Speaking of bodyguards, we have Rex as our 2-cost bodyguard, and also David, which are great additions to this deck because we can get them out cheap, we can get them out early. And we have a huge payoff with them from Merida's ability, playing out cards exerted, and with enough ink you can play 2 or even 3 bodyguard cards in a turn, so you can draw a bunch of cards of Merida's ability. So this is for the 2-drop slot. And moving to 3-drop slot. After 30 games I included Violetta Parr, 4 copies of her into this deck build because I really struggled into evasive decks, and Violetta seems to be a very good addition. Not only can you move 1 damage, because you can challenge early on with Luisa Madrigal and use Violetta then to move the damage from Luisa. And what she also does is stalls questing on the opposing side with evasive cards, because she is evasive as well. She's kind of a little fragile with only 2 willpower against some steel decks, but against all the green, purple and green steel evasive decks or red purple evasive decks, Violetta Parr is a really good addition. And in combination with Eilonwy, she hits for 6 in a challenge, and this is just huge. And yeah, this deck is built around bodyguards, so we need Raja in this build as well. 3-cost inkable card, 3 strength for willpower, and he has the bodyguard ability. What I really like about him is he hits for 3, can take quite a few hits with his 4 willpower. He is a very good protector of Merida and good payoff of her ability as well. And yeah, we have some actions included in this build as well. 2 copies of Ohanamin's family. We have quite a few cards in this build that can hold a lot of damage, like David can hold 3 damage before he dies, Raja also 3 damage. And our bigger characters can even hold 4 or 5 damage. So Ohanamin's family is kind of our secondary draw option we have built in this deck. Drawing a bunch of cards so you run into your opposing character, collect some damage, and then heal up with Ohanamin's family, draw a bunch of cards. And to deal even better with evasive cards, we have 3 copies of the Horseman Strikes. Draw a card, and then you can banish a character with evasive of your choice. Also helps a lot against like green-blue decks. If they play a Prince Philip, you can remove him because he has evasive, which is a really awesome play. Otherwise, it's really hard to deal with such big evasive bodies. That's it for the 3-drop slot, and now we are here. The card, the entire deck is built around Merida, the new legendary purple card, 4 cost, uninkable, 3 strength, 3 willpower, quests for 1. She has 2 abilities. You can play this character exerted to draw a card, and the second ability, every time during your turn you can play a character exerted, and then you can draw a card. So you have to like see and like watch the opposing board, what he's doing, what his deck can do. So usually on the play, if my opponent hasn't built up a board already, I like to play her exerted to draw a card immediately. But sometimes you need to play her ready and use the next turn with like 4 or 5 ink available. If you have a turn to ramp, you can play 2 or 3 or even 3 bodyguards, maybe with the ink available. So you can draw after the turn you played Merida, you can draw with your bodyguards, protect her, and quest with the rest of the board. And that's why I love Merida so much. A Merida followed up by Merida draws you 2 cards if you played the second exerted. You can add another like small bodyguard, protect both quest. So this card is really broken in this build with so many bodyguards. I think I have like, I think it's 20 bodyguards in this build. We have Merida, so we have almost half of the deck draws you cards when you play them exerted, which is really, really strong. And you want to make Merida survive. Against steel decks, sometimes it gets hard, but you just have to make sure your Merida like sticks for 1 or 2 turns. So you can build up your board of bodyguards, draw a bunch of cards, never run out of hand cards, and this makes the deck so strong. If you need to fight back at some point, we have 3 copies of Dale, 4 cost inkable character, 0 strength for willpower, quests for 2, and I like the 2 lore because we don't have much lore power in this build. So we gain a lore slowly, turn by turn, but what he also does is makes all your bodyguard cards, or some of them, stronger because they deal damage with their willpower in challenges. And I really like Dale in combination with David, for example, or another card I will show you right away, because they hit so hard. They can take out such strong characters. And also Luisa Madrigal is a 0 strength. She has challenger 2, but with Dale in the mix, she hits for 3, and this 1 more damage can make the difference in taking out the character, or he will survive. So I really like Dale in this build, and sometimes it takes your opponent by surprise. You play a card, you follow up with a Dale, hit for more damage than your opponent anticipated, and this is really, really huge. And speaking of bodyguards, we have more. We have 3 copies of Chief Poet and 4 cost uninkable, 5 strength, 5 willpower, quests for 1. He has bodyguard, but the downside, he can't challenge, but still he protects your board so well. The only thing is, against some Amber decks, I prefer not to play Chief Poet because he is in Gaston range, and that makes him a little weak against other Amber decks playing Gaston. So if you're up against Amber decks, I would prefer Miss Beakley. We have also 3 copies of her in the deck, 4 cost inkable, 2 strength, 6 willpower, quests for 1, also bodyguard ability. So you can follow up after Merida, play Miss Beakley, draw a card, and protect your board with 6 willpower. And like I said, in some cases you need Dale, and Miss Beakley hits for 6 after Dale is on board, which is also huge if you need to take out opposing characters, or like make your opponent's second guess if he challenges into your Miss Beakley. And yeah, we're not done with the 4 cost slot. I figured that in some games and some quicker games, I need some rush ability, and some evasive also helps. So I added 2 copies of Sven, 4-cost uninkable card, 2 strength for willpower quest to 1. He has 3 abilities. He has rush, he has challenger +3, and he has evasive. So he's very good against those evasive decks. He's very good against those fast attacks. You need to challenge right away. Sven comes in handy, takes out like an opposing Eleanor, for example, or whatever. 5 strength in challenges is pretty good. That's the only card not profiting from Dale. So think wisely what you play first, what you do. Like sequencing is very important, and think ahead of like your timing of cards. And the last 4-cost card we have in this build is the Ring of Stones, a 4-cost inkable location, 7 willpower, which is good on its own. He's 1 lore, and why I like this location in this build is your exerted characters can move here for free, and once per turn, when you move a character here, you collect or you gain 1 lore, which is pretty strong actually, because you have so many bodyguard cards you can play like exerted already. So with enough ink, you can drop the Ring of Stones, you can drop a bodyguard, exert him immediately, move him to the location, gain 1 lore. And sometimes it's so funny, you have 1 character on board, and this location won me so many games. You're at 18 lore, you have 1 character on board, your opponent knows, okay, if you can't finish the game, you drop the location, you quest, you move your exerted character here for free, you gain the lore you needed and win the game. Which is really, really power play, and I really like frustrate my opponent. Okay, he knows I'm gonna win this game, he can't win it in the turn, and then you just drop the Ring of Stones. That's why I like this card. And 7 willpower is very good as well. Some games struggle to take it out in the next turn, so you gain additional lore. You can move another exerted character here and gain another lore. So 2 or 3 lore is really common with this location. And yeah, I have 1 more card in this build. Let's get those 4-cost cards out of the way, and 1 more card left in this build. Like I said, I have Gaston included in this build as well, because I found I need more removal. I need more removal for bigger bodies, and Gaston comes in handy. 5-cost inkable card, 3 strength for willpower, quests for 1, and when you play this character, you can banish a chosen character with 5 strength or more. So that's also here. Elonvi can synergize with Gaston very well, but there are so many high strength characters like Demona, for example, or the new Mickey Minnie Mouse. So there's so many good cards played in the current meta decks. That's why Gaston is included, and it's a must include. I think 4 copies is an overkill in this build, but 3 is perfectly fine. Usually I go up to 5 or 6 ink during like longer games. But you can, with our turn to ramp, you can easily cheat out Gaston a turn earlier, which is awesome against some decks like Boosty Boys, for example. Easy play. Gaston is here to take out opposing characters. Like, if you look at the whole list, you want to mulligan for your early Aurora, you want to mulligan for your turn to ramp, and you want to see an early Merida. You just have to see if you want to play her exerted already immediately and draw a card of her, or you just wait a turn and drop 1 or 2 bodyguards the turn after you drop the Merida to have an immediate payoff of her drawing ability. What this deck struggles with is like steel decks, but every other matchup is very winnable. It's a fun deck, and you can take your opponent by surprise. I think in local league it's a very viable deck to play. Maybe it's not DLC material, but I really love the build, I really love the deck, and I really like Merida because I pulled a playset of her and I wanted to make her work, and I think this deck is perfectly fit for her. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to copy the list, you will find a link in the video description below, leading to my Lorcana deck page with all the notes, with all the changes I make throughout my testing process. And if you're new to the channel, I'm always happy about new viewers, so hit subscribe, leave a like on the video, and comment if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Flokki.